Good morning, St. John's Jesuit. Today is Friday, March 6th, and it is the breakout session day for the Summit for Justice. Hit me. We did it. Today is the culmination of the week for our Summit for Justice, and you will get to enjoy the theme of environmental justice in a variety of different capacities. Mr. Harani and I just did a 15.5-mile hike on Wednesday. How you feeling, Mr. Harani?
Feeling all right. There was a lot of talk going around the school. I got chirped a few times.
There was.
But in good news, we finished the hike. Everything went well. And from my understanding, the administrative team has actually decided that their next bonding experience is going to be the 15.5-mile hike. So that includes Mr. Carroll, Mr. Skeldon, all of them. They're going to love it.
That's great. Good for them for really taking that step forward. I can say I'm very sore right now. Yeah. When I stand up, it is painful.
I have a visible limp.
Yeah, it's nice, but it's worth it because we did some forest bathing and we feel closer to nature now.
That is very true.
So to start today off, we wanted to come to you and just kind of explain the day and walk you through where we're headed every step. So right now, we're gonna show you some videos to get us into the mood, to set the tone for our breakout day, and we're gonna do this for about 20 minutes right now. After that, you're gonna have a little discussion in your mentor groups, and then we'll head into the chapel for our keynote speaker, which is our mayor of Toledo. Very exciting. After the keynote, we will head into the breakout sessions. You should already have your schedule for the day. If you don't, you need to go to the Commons right now and pick it up, because that's very important, okay? So after the mayor speaks to us, we will head to breakout session 1. You should have a lunch in either breakout session 2 or 3, but we're pretty much moving from breakout session 1 to 2 to 3 to 4, and we'll make some announcements throughout the day to lead you forward, okay? After the 4th breakout session at 2:30, you will be asked to return to your mentor groups, and we will have about a 20-minute discussion and reflection about the day, what we heard, what we liked, what challenged us, and then we will close with a prayer. So we want you to enjoy the day. We want you to approach it with open eyes and open hearts and try to challenge yourself to engage some new perspectives. So right now, we are going to set the tone by listening to a little talk from Father James Martin, S.J., a Jesuit who is going to explain to us some of the important aspects of Pope Francis's Laudato Si'. That's his encyclical from 2015 about the environment. So sit back and listen to Father James Martin.
Pope Francis has just released his new encyclical on the environment, Laudato Si'. Here are the top 10 messages of the new encyclical. First, the big contribution of Laudato Si' is an overview of the environmental crisis from a religious point of view. Until now, the dialogue about the environment was framed mainly with political, scientific, and economic language. Now, the language of faith decisively enters the discussion. Second, the disproportionate effect of environmental change on the poor is strongly highlighted in almost every page of the document, and the Pope provides many examples of the effects of climate change, whose worst impacts, he says, are felt by those in developing countries. Third, Pope Francis takes aim at the technocratic mindset, where technology is seen as the key to human existence. He critiques an unthinking reliance on market forces in which every technological advancement is embraced before thinking about how it will affect our world. Christian spirituality, by contrast, offers a growth marked by moderation and the capacity to be happy with little. Fourth, against those who argue that a papal encyclical on the environment has no real authority, Pope Francis explicitly states that Laudato Si' is now added to the body of the Church's social teaching. It continues reflection on modern-day problems that began with Leo XIII's encyclical Rerum Novarum on capital and labor in 1891. Fifth, discussions about ecology can be grounded in the Bible and church tradition. In Chapter 2, Pope Francis introduces the gospel of creation in which he leads readers through the call to care for creation that extends as far back as the book of Genesis, when humankind was called to till and keep the earth. But sadly, we have done too much tilling and not enough keeping. Sixth, everything is connected. Laudato Si is a systematic approach to the problem. First, the Pope links all of us to creation. We are part of nature, included in it, and thus in constant interaction with it. But our decisions have an inevitable effect on the environment. A blind pursuit of money that sets aside the interests of the marginalized and poor and the ruination of the planet are connected. Seventh, Pope Francis does not try to prove anything about climate change. Rather, his encyclical accepts the best scientific research available today and builds on it. So Laudato Si draws on both church teaching and contemporary scientific findings from all fields to help modern-day people reflect on important questions. Eighth, Pope Francis critiques those who ignore the problems of climate change, and especially its effect on the poor. Why are so many of the wealthy turning away from the poor? Not only because some view themselves as more worthy than others, but also because frequently decision makers are, for the most part, removed from the poor, with no real physical connection to their brothers and sisters. Selfishness also leads to the evaporation of the notion of the common good. Ninth, perhaps more than any encyclical, Pope Francis draws from the experiences of people from around the world, referring to the findings of bishops' conferences in Africa, Asia, Europe, and the Americas. The Pope calls into dialogue and debate all people about our common home. And finally, this encyclical is addressed to everyone on the planet and calls for a new way of looking at things. We face an urgent crisis when the earth has begun more and more to look like, in Pope Francis's vivid language, an immense pile of filth. Still, the document is hopeful, reminding us that because God is with us, all of us can strive to change course. We can move towards an ecological conversion in which we can listen to the cry of the earth and the cry of the poor. To use religious language, what the Pope is calling for is conversion.
Wow. Fantastic. I love Father Martin. He is so articulate, and he just has a way of explaining things.
Definitely.
That's so clear. We met him.
Yeah, we
Remember
do.
this?
We meet him just about every year at the Teach-In.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing some of you guys out there, if you've been on the Ignatian Teach-In, you guys have probably heard Father James Martin talk several times, probably at this point.
Yeah, he's really nice. He's like
Yeah,
like just a regular. He's like a holy grandfather. You know,
Very true.
like you just want to give him a hug and
Very
shake
true.
his hand and hear his stories.
And a powerful voice.
Yeah, I bet he eats Triscuits. I bet he does. So, Mr. Hrani, we've had a long week. We've learned about a lot of things throughout the week. Can you tell me one thing that you learned this week about environmental justice that was interesting or stunned you or something along those lines?
Yeah, definitely. So yesterday at Dr. Murphy's talk, I thought there was a lot of interesting information, a lot of interesting statistics. But one of the ones that kind of stood out to me was when he was talking about hurricanes, and he was saying people of lower socioeconomic status, people who are predominantly black, brown, minority communities actually struggle getting out of those situations if there is a natural disaster or anything like that. So a lot of the times when we think of like environmental issues, sometimes it's hard to like bridge that gap of like, yeah, but how does it affect people?
Yeah.
But I thought he did a great job drawing a very clear line of how it affects people.
That is an amazing insight. Yeah, that's horrifying, really, and definitely a huge justice issue. Mine is slightly less justice-oriented. Mr. Hrani's always so justice-y. This week in my English class, we talked a little bit about microplastics and how they affect our daily lives, and I was stunned that 10% of our shampoos, detergents, toothpaste is made with microplastics, and that's terrifying because when they go into the plumbing, they can't be filtered out by our sewage system, so they just go into our water, the ocean, fresh water, whatever, and there's not really anything we can do about it. And then all the marine life just kind of eats it if it's big enough, or like filters it in, and it has this devastating effect on the environment. And it's hard to get around that, right? Those are such fundamental parts of our daily lives. It's just terrifying.
And I believe if you take a look at the ingredients on those, if you try to avoid any toothpaste or even like bubble gum or chewing gum, if you avoid anything that has the ingredient that starts with poly, I think you can avoid that situation a little bit.
Tip of the day, life hack to be more environmentally friendly. Yeah. So, right now, we are going to show you another video. We want to kind of get us in the inspirational mood right now. We want to move us towards thinking about how we can better impact the environment. So National Geographic put out this video. It's a slam poem from a pretty famous YouTuber, I think so. It's very powerful. So listen to this video, watch this, and let's try to get ourselves in the mindset for the day to advocate for change and advocate for justice.
Fun fact, planet Earth is 4.5 billion years old. Mankind, about 140,000 years old. Let me put that in perspective. If you condense the Earth's lifespan into 24 hours, that's one full day, then we have been here on this planet for, drum roll please, 3 seconds. 3 seconds. And look what we've done. We have modestly named ourselves Homo sapiens, meaning wise man. But is man really so wise? Smart, yes, and it's good to be smart, but not too smart for your own good. Yes, we have split the atom. Yes, we build clever machines that navigate the universe in search of new homes, but at the same time, those atoms we split created nuclear warfare. In our quest to explore the galaxy, rejects and neglects the home that we have here now, so no, that cannot be wisdom. Wisdom is different. While intelligence speaks, wisdom listens, and we willingly covered our ears to Mother Nature's screams and closed our eyes to all of her help-wanted signs. Wisdom knows that every action has an equal and opposite reaction, so if we were wise, we would not be shocked when we see storms that are stronger than ever before, or more drought, hurricanes, and wildfire than ever before, because there's more pollution than ever before, more carbon, more trees cut down than ever before. At a record pace, we have increased the extinction of animals by 1,000 times the normal rate. What a feat. In the next 10 to 100 years, every beloved animal character in every children's book is predicted to go extinct. Lions gone, rhinos gone, tiger, gorilla, elephant, polar bear gone. In 3 seconds. Species that have been here longer than us will be gone because of us. In this 3 seconds. In an existence shorter than a Vine video, we turn the circle of life into our own personal conveyor belt. Somebody, anybody help. We were given so much, the only planet in this solar system with life. I mean, we are 1 in a million. No, actually, scientifically, we are 1 in a billion, trillion. That's a 1 followed by 33 zeros. And I don't want to get too spiritual, but how are we not a miracle? We are perfectly positioned to the sun so we don't burn, but not too distant so we don't turn to ice. Goldilocks said it best, we are just right. This paradise where we are given medicine from trees, not coincidentally, but because like the song says, we are family. Literally, everything, every species is connected genetically, from the sunflower to the sunfish. And this is what we must recognize before it's too late, because the real crisis is not global warming, environmental destruction, or animal agriculture. It is us. These problems are symptoms of us, byproducts of us. Our inner reflection, loss of connection has created this misdirection. We have forgotten that everything contributes to the perfection of Mother Nature. Corporations keep us unaware and disconnected, but they have underestimated our strength. Contrary to popular belief, millions are waking up out of their sleep, seeing our home being taken right up under our feet. We cannot allow our history to be written by the wicked, greedy, and loony. It is our duty to protect Mother Nature from those who refuse to see her beauty. Call me crazy, but I believe we should have the right to eat food that's safe, with ingredients we can pronounce. Drink water that is clean, marvel at trees, breathe air free of toxins. These are natural rights, not things that can be bargained for in Congress. See, they want you to feel powerless, but it has been said that something as small as the flutter of a butterfly's wing can cause a typhoon halfway around the world. But when enough people come together, we too will make waves and wash the world into a new era filled with love and connection, freedom for all without oppression. But it is up to you, yes, you watching this behind this screen, to make the effort, because time is of the essence, and only together can we make it to the 4th second.
stuff. Before we send you into the day, St. John's, Mr. Harani, you want to say anything?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you for any students who participated on excursions this week. We had some awesome excursions. Mr. Wynandy taking us to the park, teaching us a little bit about some of Pope Francis's encyclicals. I want to say thank you to Mrs. Wood for going to Toledo Grows and doing some volunteering in urban rain gardens alongside some students. Mr. Dane for the hike, setting the pace of the first 7 miles, showing us the trail, all the guys who went out on that. Mrs. Hardiman for volunteering to do yoga. That will still happen, so if you guys signed up for that, we'll still make sure that you get all of, that you'll be able to get out and do that in this upcoming week or next week after that. I just want to say thank you to all the students and all the faculty and staff that helped plan and helped take care of those excursions.
Awesome. Let me also offer our appreciation to everyone in the building today. We have guests from different schools. We have professionals from all around the city and beyond, and we want to thank them for coming in today and giving their time to help us learn more about environmental justice issues. I also want to spend a moment to thank especially the students who have been mindful about the way they approach their eating habits in the common and their waste management. Mr. Cassie is with us again today. But we really appreciate those of you who have been deliberately approaching the way that you dispose of your waste in an effort to try to be better recyclers. And let me leave you with one final thought. Please be open to this day and approach this with an open heart. I think we can learn a lot from these people who are with us, and I think there's a lot that can be done within the St. John's community to be more mindful practitioners of our daily lives and to be more deliberate be more deliberate in the way that we approach the environment. One thing I want to finish with here, this is not the end of a week. This week is the beginning of our movement to be advocates for change and advocates for justice. You're good guys and good women, and this is an opportunity for us to be better people and to set the world on fire. So have a great day. Right now, you're going to head into mentor groups and have a little discussion to get ready for the day, and we will call you down to the chapel for our keynote speaker in about 15 minutes. Have a great day, St. John's.
Have a good one, St. John's.